because it is official now. The president of the UAW, Shawn Fain, saying the UAW is endorsing Joe Biden as president of the United States. 380,000 members represented there at this meeting. Powerful voting bloc in some key states, Michigan, Wisconsin, battleground states. Shawn Fain took an opportunity to really go after Donald Trump. He said Donald Trump is a scab, a billionaire, and that's who he represents. He doesn't care about the American auto worker. Instead of trash talking about our union, Joe Biden stood with us.
You know, not many people know this or recognize this or have even thought about this, but the electric car fantasy that Joe Biden and much of his policy is pushing is going to be what destroys the American auto manufacturers. And I'm not here to get into a debate about climate change or how much of it is or isn't anthropogenic. I'm not even real interested in getting into where the electric car technology is, even though it really is not where it needs to be to do the things that they expect. All that stuff is important to varying degrees, of course. All I'm here to say is no one really wants those cars. You know, all this money that companies are spending on development, all this gaslighting that the government and all the climate crazies are doing, and no one is buying the car. Nobody wants them. I mean, people don't even want to rent them. You know, rental companies are currently dumping hundreds of thousands of used electric units on the market right now, and that's going to hurt. That is going to change some pretty serious pricing dynamics. But anyway, even the recent UAW strike, a lot of people don't realize this, was all about the electric car. Electric cars take less humans to build, and a lot of those humans are not stateside, and they're definitely not union members. All of these things are a serious, real concern for the union. And that's why, to me, it was very, very surprising when the UAW president actually came out and gave such a full-throated endorsement for Joe Biden. And I know that union bosses are essentially in an unholy alliance with Democrats. I get all that. But this one didn't really make sense. And then he said this.
EVs, electric vehicles, many automakers have said this has sort of been the bane of their existence, that the market just isn't there to support what they call the heavy hand of government to force the issue. Sure enough, we learned just a few minutes ago, Sean, after the bell ended for the day, that Tesla shares are falling after the car maker forecasts slower growth because of weak, EV sales, or weaker than expected. Do you think that's a problem for the automakers? You're quite right. You scored this historic and very generous labor package for your members, but that it's imperiled by this industry push for EVs.
Look, we have to have an environment we can all live in where we can breathe clean air and, have clean water. The UAW has always led the way in environmental concerns, going back to our founding. And, wherever the industry goes, we're going to be a part of it. Our workers are going to be a part of it. We're going to fight for those jobs, and we're going to fight for it to be a just transition where it pays good wages, good benefits, so that people can afford to live off that job.
Do you think it's being pushed too quickly, though? I guess that's what I'm asking, that it comes with the president doing so. But he has to juggle, I understand, the wishes of environmentalists, and you're an environmentally concerned union chief. I get that. But that too much so, and it could hurt your members going forward, especially if these sales just languish.
Well, look, we still make ICE engines and ICE vehicles, and we're in both markets. And, however this goes, we're going to protect our workers. But, being concerned about, there's infrastructure that has to be put in place still. All those things are being worked. As far as the timetable goes, adjustments may have to be made. Businesses always make adjustments when they launch new plants or create new businesses. They have a deadline target, and a lot of times those get moved. So, it's just going to be a matter of how things develop and how the market goes.
There's always a dichotomy. The union membership in the past was very strong for Ronald Reagan in both elections. George Bush Sr. benefited from the union vote. Many of your own members now, Sean, are very big Trump supporters. I don't know the breakdown. You know that part better than I. But that a good many of them are at Trump rallies and are MAGA enthusiasts. How do you feel about that?
Look, it's what makes this country, a beacon for other countries. It's democracy in action. Look, let me be clear about this. A great majority of our members will not vote for President Biden. Yes, some will. But that's the reality of this. The majority of our members are going to vote their paychecks. They're going to vote for an economy that works for them, and they're going to vote for a president. When you look at these two presidents, the choice is very clear about which one stands up with the working class and stands up for labor, and which one stands for the billionaire class, and that's his base.
We shall watch very closely.
How insanely mad must Biden's people be? I mean, what are the odds that in an interview between a Trump-hating Fox rhino and a union boss that not only hates President Trump, but also just threw the weight of the world's most powerful union behind Joe Biden, would end up being a complete and total embarrassment for Joe Biden? I mean, literally hours after he and the union endorsed Joe, he goes on TV and really looks like the prototypical liberal politician. He admits that he believes one thing, and he wants to do everything in his power to accomplish a certain goal that the majority of the people that he represents do not agree with. I mean, how fitting is that? I mean, the rank and file UAW members, according to this guy, are going to be voting for Donald Trump because they recognize, unlike him, they are smart enough to recognize that he will be better for their bottom line and really their values. You know, I mean, did you catch the way that he said, most people will vote with their paychecks? Like, yeah, I mean, yes. What he's actually saying is most people aren't enlightened or privileged enough to be able to turn their vote into a culture-destroying virtue signal like he can. I mean, how nice, honestly, it must be to be, some better-than destroyer of worlds instead of having to vote with your paycheck like some MAGA peasant. But these people are serious, man. And this is his endorsement. I choose Biden, but Trump is better for the working man. I mean, you can't make it up. Pretty amazing stuff, but I thought you deserved to see that, guys. That's just my take. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to be a part of our channel's growth, guys. 2024 is going to be a huge, huge year for conservatism. So help, like, comment, subscribe, most importantly, share. Really appreciate the support so far, and I'll see you in the next one.